If you find juggling all those remotes a little tricky, well, get ready for the confusing reality of pick and pay TV. The new way to choose your cable channels begins this morning. Now, we're here for you. We're going to talk you through the changes and we'll show you some of the options out there. But we start this hour with a look at why more choice won't necessarily mean more savings. Jacqueline Hansen has the story.
The days of being constrained by limited and often pricey cable packages are supposed to be over. Cable TV subscribers can now get all specialty channels a la carte. Now, this is the final phase of the CRTC's attempt to give consumers more choice in cable TV. But unlike the CRTC's mandated $25 skinny basic cable package, the price of single channels isn't regulated. The range of prices I've seen is anywhere from $2 to $20 a channel. For example, sports, still a big draw. Well, to get the popular TSN 1 through Rogers, that costs $18 a month. But I talked to Jerry Wall, who's with an Ottawa-based research firm, and he's not surprised by that kind of pricing.
You couldn't, I think, fairly expect to receive everything you're already receiving at a lower price. If that's what consumers wanted and expected, I think that was not warranted.
Now, we did reach out to Rogers, and it maintains its prices are reasonable and competitive. As for the CRTC, it says it's set out to provide more choice for consumers. When it comes to price, that's not something it regulates. Jacqueline Hansen, CBC News, Toronto.
Let's bring in Scott for more on this. Scott, as I listen to Jacqueline, I still think there may be for some confusion out there. Let's go over all of the options. What's out there as of today?
Yeah, for the cable representatives and what the packages that they have offer, and this is sort of a result of a lot of back and forth with CRTC. So there's three main options. One, starting with a skinny basic. This is supposed to be for everyone. It's a $25, very inexpensive package, but a lot of people saying that yes, it's $25, but there's a lot of add-ons. Sometimes you have to rent equipment, so it's not truly $25. In addition to that, there's a pick and pay. You need the skinny basic, and then you pick individual channels that you want. A lot of people complain that the really good channels cost more than the not so good ones, and so that becomes prohibitively more expensive. Finally, the big package with the bundles, and this is when you have just the package that the cable companies provide for you. There's a basic section to it, and then there's additional ons. Usually there's incentives to have this ones, and traditionally this is what the cable providers have provided you. So that's sort of like, you could say, the gold standard, and the other two are an amalgamation of what the CRTC regulations mandated.
So the idea, obviously more choice, to have people, to encourage people to stick with cable, but we've been hearing for some time now about how more Canadians are choosing, in fact, to cut the cord, and there are some numbers that back that up today.
There are indeed, and I think this is a testimony to how changing the environment is. The internet, the web, the television and cable. 93,000 Canadians have cut their cable cords since the advent of the skinny basic and the pick and pay, and another 200,000 are expected by one analyst, and that would be the biggest rush for cable cutters that's ever been tracked. And so it seems more and more Canadians are shifting around and going to different places, not just cable anymore.
And even for the Canadians who are choosing to stream, they have more options to choose from as of, well, around now, maybe today. It's a little ambiguous, but clarify what I'm talking about there, Scott.
Yeah, this is all just, how to grab our eyeballs and stay onto it. For example, Amazon Prime is supposed to be introduced today. We learned about this from a Bell executive at the CRTC hearings. We have yet to see the official launch on this at all. Netflix as well is not just streaming anymore. You can download movies with Netflix. They are the giant. They got about 86 million viewers, about 3 million estimated in Canada. And finally, it's not all a bed of roses. Rogers found it couldn't compete in this space, and they had the Show Me, which was supposed to compete against Netflix, to show you how difficult it is. They had to fold that up a while ago. So this is a very competitive environment, and there's lots of moving figures and moving people and watching different things.
Scott, thank you very much. And because of the changing nature of the story, let's get some clarity a little bit later on in the hour. Matthew Braga is our new technology reporter at CBC, and he's going to be in to talk about Amazon Prime and what it may mean when it arrives in the market, whether Netflix and companies like it are shaking in their boots.